Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of our Irish Country Life. I'm here in the farmhouse style kitchen together with Scooter, who's having a nap, and Chris, who's doing the filming. And my name is Nicholai for those of you who don't know me. Today I'm going to make for you a classic British Victoria sponge. And it's a very, very simple recipe and very easy to follow. And also it's all in one method. So basically it's one bowl and everything goes into the bowl and then you mix. So what we're going to need is we've got 2 sandwich tins, okay? So they're about 20 centimeter sandwich tins, and I've just cut out 2 discs of greaseproof paper to go in there. They're non-stick, so that's just for extra protection, the greaseproof paper. So I've done the same in both sandwich pans. If you just have one, you can use one and then slice it when the cake is completely cold, but I find it's just easier if you have the 2 sandwich pans and then there's no slicing and breaking up of sponges later. A spatula, a sieve, your electric mixer, and our ingredients are, we have 200 grams of softened butter, 200 grams of self-raising flour, 200 grams of castor sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 4 eggs lightly beaten with 2 tablespoons of milk. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to put everything into the bowl and mix everything together. That's why it's called the all-in-one. I have sieved the flour and the baking powder earlier, so that's all been done. So now we have all our ingredients in the bowl, and we're literally just going to set the mixer on slow speed to start with and just incorporate everything together. And then once we get everything going, just make sure that there's no lumps left in the mixture, no lumps of dry flour or no lumps of butter that haven't been dissolved. Now that it's started to incorporate, you can turn the mixer up full. And just beat that together for 3 or 4 minutes until you ensure that it's a nice creamy consistency and all lumps have been removed. What you will need to do is you will need to preheat your oven to 170 fan or gas mark 5. I today am going to be putting it into the Aga, which is already preheated because the Aga is always on. So I think that should be enough now. It looks nice and creamy and light and fluffy. And there's no lumps in that mixture. So now we have our mixture all creamed up, nice and creamy. Just sort of roughly divide the mixture in half and you want to pop it into your tins. Make sure you get all that lovely goodness out of the bowl. It feels really lovely and silky. Once you have it in your tin, just smooth it out a little bit so that it's not all in the center. It can be a little bit tricky because your greaseproof paper moves around, but you're not looking for perfection. It will spread itself in the oven just so that it's not all sitting right in the center of the tray. And that's one. And now we move on to number 2. Again, a lovely recipe if you're having afternoon tea. Okay, they will level off slightly themselves in the oven as well. And we're going to be filling this Victoria sandwich with lovely homemade raspberry jam made by my friend, and also we will make a lovely vanilla buttercream, a traditional buttercream to fill the Victoria sandwich. And then we will sprinkle a little bit of icing sugar over the top. You can go and you can get fresh raspberries from the garden and put some fresh raspberries in there also. Whatever you like to do. If you don't like buttercream, then you can make it with fresh cream. Just make sure that your cakes are completely cold before you sandwich them together with either buttercream or with fresh dairy cream. Sometimes it's nice if you know you've got a few people and you're going to eat it all in one day to make it with fresh cream and raspberries. It is delicious too. But for now, we're going to do a vanilla buttercream. So now you can see them, and I'm going to pop them in the oven, and they will take approximately 20 minutes to cook, just until they're nice and golden and they spring back when you poke them with your finger. Be gentle. Don't poke straight through them and leave a big hole. Okay, so I'll pop them in the aga now, and we will take them out. And we'll set our timer for 20 minutes. And so now for the butter icing. We have our electric whisk, we have 100 grams of butter, and we have 140 grams of icing sugar, and we have some Madagascar vanilla extract. Spatula, sieve, and a tablespoon. So into the butter, we're going to sieve our icing sugar. Very important this stage, because I find if you don't do that, you end up with quite a gritty butter icing. And that's purely because the icing sugar may not be as refined as we think. So just give that a good sieve in on top of your butter. And then we'll put our tablespoon of vanilla extract, and then we'll just beat it all together. So you can push the rest of the icing sugar through the sieve. And that tastes lovely and sweet because I can see white dust flying everywhere. Okay. And into that, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of good quality vanilla extract. But you can use any vanilla extract of your choice. Okay. And that's all in there. And then all we're going to do is we're going to now mix that into a nice butter icing. And again, just keep it nice and slow. Mix the butter with the icing sugar together first, so that you don't end up spraying the whole kitchen with white dust. And once you've kind of incorporated it, then you can turn your mixer on. There we go. Once you've got it incorporated and most of the icing sugar has been mixed with the butter, you can turn up the speed then to get a nice creamy, pale, fluffy, whitish sort of butter also. Okay, so I've just whisked that there for about 4 to 5 minutes till we get a lovely, light, fluffy, white buttercream. And we'll leave that to set aside now. If it stiffens up a little bit, you can add a tiny, tiny drop of milk just to soften it again, to make it easier to spread on your really cold cake. So you must leave the cake till it's really cold. If there's any heat at all in the sponge, it will just melt the buttercream. So we'll leave that aside, and this is really nice for whoever has to do the washing up. So we'll leave that aside, and when the cake is out of the oven, we'll put it onto a wire rack, and we'll literally let it go cold completely in the tin before we take it out. So that's our vanilla buttercream. Okay, you guys, so we're now ready to assemble our Victoria sandwich. Our sponges are completely cold. So I have here my display plate. You can use any plate you like. I have here our vanilla frosting, which is our vanilla buttercream. My bowl of homemade raspberry jam, but you can use shop bought raspberry jam, or if you prefer blackcurrant, or if you prefer strawberry. But traditionally, it's always been made with raspberry jam. And then I have a little bowl with some icing sugar, confectioner's sugar in here, which we're going to just dust with a sieve over the top. Now, so the first thing we need to do is we'll get our base. And I've left the greaseproof paper on the sponge because that helps to keep it nice and moist while it's cooling. So we can remove now our greaseproof paper. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our jam on this side. So we're going to spread our jam over the top of the sponge. As much or as little jam as you like. I like quite a lot of jam. I almost like it to ooze down the sides. But like I said, any jam of your preference you can use. And don't worry about it dribbling down the sides, that's okay too. It just adds to the look. And some of it will spill down the sides anyway when you put the next layer on the top, the weight of the next layer. Okay, so now we have our jam on, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove our greaseproof of our second sponge. And then I'm going to hold it in my hand and I'm going to put some buttercream on there in a few blobs. Helps for spreading it out then later. Okay, and then I'm going to get my palette knife and I'm just going to spread out my buttercream filling right out to the edges, like so. A little bit left in the bowl, we'll use it all. And we must leave some for whoever's doing the washing up so they can lick. Or maybe Scooter. We'll see. The moment he's snoozing away. Scooter always makes me laugh. He's always snoozing and making out he's asleep while all of this drama's going on. And then as soon as it's all plated up and ready, he's right there ready and waiting for a slice. Okay, so once we've got our buttercream on there, it's now time to just parcel it together. So nice and carefully, just place it on the edge and you want to bring it over and let it fall down on top. And that, my friend. Okay, so now we have it together. And the last and final stage is we're going to just dredge it with a little bit of icing sugar just to smarten it up. Now, once you've done this, you can also put a few raspberries over the top as you wish. And just a nice light dusting of icing sugar. This is a wonderful cake to make if you have somebody who is having a birthday party, or like I said, just for afternoon tea. Really special and very delicious, tasty cake. So that's it, my friends. That is our classic Victoria sandwich, and we shall enjoy it with a lovely cup of tea. I hope you enjoyed watching the video and that I gave you some inspiration to try this very, very simple recipe for a Victoria sandwich. And as you can see, it was very easily done and it looks wonderful. So thank you for joining us again on another video, and we hope to see you back again very soon. Don't forget, if you like what you see, hit the like button and subscribe, and thumbs up. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.